The Perfect Match season 2 was a hot mess. It was unexpected in the way that it ended, where Christine and Nigel won. Who would have thought that, when they were like the last couple to come into the house? It was just a game show. None of these couples made it. When you look at where are they now, none of them made it. Sadly, we had some cute couples like Stefan and Alora, Chris and Tolu, even Christine and Nigel, who was the last couple to come in the house and to win it all. They were really cute together. But no one made it. I want to do my reaction to the season, and I also want to get into the where are they now. Christine came out with a tell it all about season 2 from her point of view and what she went through and what she saw in the house. Disclaimer before we begin this review and reaction to The Perfect Match season 2. It is a combination of my reaction in the moment while I was watching each episode, as well as post-production information and interviews that came out all into one. So bear with me. Let's get into it. Seeing how it all turned out, I'm like, it's fine. But when I was in it, I was like, Tolu or Chris should have won, or Stefan and Alora should have won, because Stefan put in work for Alora from the minute she walked in the house. He was like, this is the girl. He loves Zanti, High and Dry, who he seemed like he was so into her. But he was like, nope. The minute Alora came in the house, he said, nope, this is my girl. And he worked the game. He charmed her, and he made sure she felt like she was his perfect match. And we saw it in the way that he was caring towards her, the way that he made sure that all her needs were taken care of. Like, Stefan really was putting in the work with Alora, and it was really cute to see them interact together. Sadly, when you look at the where are they now, they are not together, and apparently Stefan just ghosted her a week after the show, which is kind of sad because Laura says that they were talking about her moving to LA and them being together. But I just feel like maybe Stefan just played the game for what it was, a game, and once it was over, he was over. So it's sad that he didn't voice that to Laura during the process, or even give her a heads up about his true intentions, but it is what it is. I just feel like Stefan probably had an on and off relationship outside of the show anyways that he was really into. He seems like a ladies' girl, so I'm not surprised that Stefan left Alora, but it is what it is. They were cute together, they just didn't make it. Tolu and Dom, come on. Let's get into this, because Tolu, when it came to Dom, she was just Delulu. I don't know what this first date she had with Dom. It was the most magical date that she could have possibly had. And she was hung up on this first date when it came to Dom. And yeah, Dom charmed her on that date. He came in hot, ready to get in this house, and he was like, I don't care what I gotta do. I'm getting in this house. And that's what Dom did on his first date with Tolu, and she couldn't see beyond past that. She thought he was a genuine person. She didn't realize he was playing a game. This is a game show, and he came to play. And he was gonna ride Tolu into the house until he found his white girlfriend who he could cry about. Because, let's be real, season 1, all you saw was Dom crying about white girls. I don't know why Tolu thought that she was Dom's type, because that's not what he's portrayed. That's not what his history has stated. And it was just shocking to see her really fall for him and really like fall for the idea of them when he has no interest in black women. On the second date with Dom and Tolu, you really see Dom just like not having a good time. He does not look like he wants to have a good time. There is no smiling going on. I don't think he smiled once during that date. He straight out tells Tolu that he thinks that she should explore other options. From the way he was acting on that day, he didn't want to be there. He acted like it was a problem for him to be there, like someone dragged him out there. And she was still talking about, like, oh, we had such a great time on the first date. It's like, girl, the minute Alora walked through that door, Dom was like, I'm done with Tolu. Who is this Chris guy? He sits down Dominique and Cynthia to have a conversation that he's not choosing the both of them, but he was never matched with Santi, and Dominique was already not feeling him, but he couldn't read that off of her. He is not in tune with reality, clearly, because he couldn't even read that Dominique wasn't feeling him, and his line of questioning about her sexuality. Chris, he is in fairy tale land. Not only does he look like a Prince Charming, he living in fairy tale land, just not in our reality. Tolu and Chris are the biggest surprise for me of this season. I feel like they're the cutest couple. It's between Stefan and Laura and Tolu and Chris for the cutest couple. And Tolu and Chris is really trying to push up to the front by the last episode. They're just, what a surprise. Like, you would have never expected them to match so well. Really happy to see Tolu, who's gorgeous, find a man who wants to appreciate on her. And the way that she spoke to him in episode 9 when she said, I'm not a second choice. Like, don't do that to me. And I really appreciated her standing up for herself and for Chris to understand that, like, yo, he might lose a bad bitch and he needs to stop trying to play her. We got a lot of interviews post production with Tolu where she talks about how Chris switched up on her immediately after the cameras were turned off, and he was just like standoffish, and he was no longer the guy who was talking about wanting to be with her on the outside. And he gave her the old switcheroo, so their relationship didn't go far. And she was hearing a lot of things from the girls about Chris and what he was saying about just using her for the show. So that came to an ending very quickly, and unfortunately, it was not as genuine as it seemed on the show. It was cute while it lasted, but I'm glad that she found out that he was not the one for her earlier than later. So we're all okay with it. We just want our girl Tolu to, be herself and find a man who loves and appreciates her. So, whatever. Harry is wild. Seeing his little breakup with Elise after he leaves for the challenge and tells her that he loves her, that's crazy. He's just like so removed. He's so nonchalant. Like he didn't just have a few days with this girl. I'm not saying that his little ploy to find the wife, the love of his life, isn't noble. How you go about finding the love of your life, it matters. Going around destroying and breaking women's hearts because you're finding your wife. So sorry you didn't sleep with me. Sorry you're not my wife because you didn't sleep with me. I'm saying I love you, but because you didn't sleep with me, I'm ready to jump ship. Everything about this new girl is what I wanted. I never wanted you. Everything about this new girl is what I wanted. So me saying I love you and peace, that was me saying goodbye. He is just out here finding the wife and justifying it for his actions. I get to sleep with women and destroy them and try them out and break their hearts and not sit down and talk to them like a grown man. I may look like a grown man, but my behavior, am I going to sit you down and tell you, hey, I just got back from this date and I'm sorry, but we hit it off on a different level and I just want the best for you. I think you should just go talk to other guys right now because I'm going to jump ship. I like this girl. I think you're great. I do think you're great. And I'm sorry, but You know what we're here for because this is a game. I just don't want to hurt you. I want you to have a chance in this game. So go ahead and talk to some of these other guys. I'm going to jump ship. I'll see you later. No, Harry did not do that. Harry just ignored her, had the other girl tell them that he said, "Oh, they're just friends." And then the girls had to go tell her, Harry's saying, "You guys are just friends." But would not come to her and say, "I think we're just friends. Like, we've been hanging out these past few days. I think we're just friends. So I think you should just go talk to some other guys before the night's over." But no, letting her sit there unknowing of his final decision because it's fun to charm and destroy. It's more fun to charm and destroy than it is to be charming and respectful. It's way more fun to be destroying. It's way more drama to destroy than to be charming and respectful. I can't charm and then respect her. That's not views. I'm gonna charm and destroy. Harry is just so comfortable hurting a woman. He's done it so many times. He has not only the right phrases of terming, the wording, the timing of when he inputs his wording. Like, when it comes to breaking a girl's heart, it's funny to him. He's done it so many times that at this point it's just all joy. He's just having a good time. I'm hurting this girl. I've done it so many times. I know how to do it so well. It's an art. Let me do it. Let me get these words in real quick. Right here. Let me say it like this. Let me put this quote in. You're not in love with me? Perfect. What we doing here? He threw that in quick. Harry knew what he was doing when it came to breaking this girl's heart. And he also knew what he was doing when it came to whispering, "Love you," before he left to go on this date. This guy, he charms, and then he just destroys. And then he just skips along, having the time of his life because there's another one lined up for him to charm and destroy. Gratefully waiting for this man to charm them and destroy. It starts from the minute you see this man, down to his looks. He's designed it to charm and destroy. His cheeky little smiles. Oh my God, I remember when he was on Too Hot to Handle. I thought he was so cute. I was like, this boy, he was like, he had this little innocence to him to charm and to destroy. Even now, like when I saw him appear, I was like, wow, Harry, he came out looking like a snack, a meal. Like, he came out looking like the plate. He knew what he was ready to do. He was ready to charm and destroy. He came on this show to be drama, to be fire, to be fucking Harry. Did you see the way he walked in? He walked in ready to charm and to destroy these women. And these women lined up to be charmed and to be destroyed by Harry. His reputation precedes him, and his reputation is him. I don't get the difference when he's like, "Oh, you're listening to my reputation, but you have to judge me by who I am now." And what did he do? He showed her he is his reputation. He's a charmer and a destroyer.
Harry's not used to being with someone like me. And I wanted to let it be known right out of the gate, you're either going to walk the walk and talk the talk, or don't waste my time. Go shout it from the rooftops. I'm a changed man. I'm a committed man until further notice.
Is Jessica Boo with the fool? What is happening? She thinks she's changed Harry in one night? What has in the world? What is going on? Is there something in the tea? What is happening? Harry is a changed man. We're going to shout it from the rooftops. Hallelujah. Therapy works. Harry's been to therapy. He's getting married. He's a changed man. Jessica changed him in one conversation. So after the fight with Melinda, Jess talks to all the other boys and she talks to all the girls, and she makes the decision that she does not want to match with Harry, which is one of the smartest decisions she could make for herself because Harry is still a F boy. We all know this. We all see this in his behavior. So let's see if she sticks to it. It's about the consistency. So let's see if she sticks with it and she keeps saying no to him, or if they go back to each other. This Micah and Kaz thing is wild. Kaz is an interesting person. He really likes Micah. I don't know what she's putting down behind closed door, but he likes it. While Christine, Kaz's match, is on a date with Nigel, she's thinking she has options. She's thinking she's going back to the house with Kaz and Nigel as an option, while Kaz is like, nope, all I want is Micah. If I don't get Micah, I'm out of here. That's crazy. I mean, feelings can change, and he's been into Micah from the beginning, so they definitely have this subtle thing going on because even when they matched the first time, he wasn't putting on a lot of game, but she somehow knew, and they kind of just like matched. Like he tried to put on game, but Izzy was kind of put on harder game in front of her, and while they were talking, but she still picked him. So that's kind of wild. As you know, Nigel and Christine won season 2 of The Perfect Match, and they were also the last couple to come in the house. She said that there was a pact made by all the people outside the house for her and Nigel to win, but she was not a part of that, and it was a big surprise to her that they won. She did not know anyone from the cast really, so she only knew Elise. From her take, all the people on the outside just saw the relationships for what they were, and they all believed that hers and Nigel was the most genuine. She also talks about the fact that post the show, her and Nigel dated for like 9 months, and so she feels like it's justified that they actually won because nobody else made it. And I guess hindsight 2020, yeah, they were the best match from that season because they did actually genuinely like each other and they genuinely dated outside of the show. But yeah, it's a game show and not a marriage show, so it's like whatever. I don't really care if these relationships actually pan out because I know that they all come in saying they're going to find the love of their life, they're going to get married, but you're not on Love is Blind, you're not on Married at First Sight, you're on The Perfect Match. Okay, yeah, no. Like this reaction to The Perfect Match Season 2? Go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.